Welcome to the MoneyWise Channel, place where we talk about inspirational things and setting up of goals. Today we will be checking more emails. I want you guys to keep sending them. I'm going to keep giving my opinion and some facts. Today we will be talking about peer pressure because someone asked me what was my opinion of that and my outlook. So we're going to talk about peer pressure. I think that's a great subject. First, I'd like to say peer pressure is the influence from members of your same similar group or social network. Basically, you're being influenced by people that you already hang with or in your social network, in your area, people you already have basic dealings with. That's your social circle. That would be your peers, and those the ones that would be able to apply pressure, if that's the word we want to use. So that's the one basically we're using, so we would say peer pressure. Let's start from kids. You have, when you're younger, we know we always have those friends that could influence us to do certain stuff, whether it may be wear certain clothes, do certain dances, like certain type of candy, cartoons or whatever. They could always introduce us and apply pressure from that point. But also we had those friends that were doing bad stuff that we would deal more into peer pressure as far as in class, throwing spitballs, talking during class with the teacher, going back and forth with the substitute teacher, just causing all type of havoc. That type of friends in our peer group that would be doing certain stuff, or they're sitting there and being bullies, or they're making fun of someone, and before you find yourself in a situation where you start talking, or they're looking at you like you want to say something. And as a child, your number one thing is to try to fit in. That's usually what you want to do as a child. That's why it's easier for this type of peer pressure to become a problem, because usually as a child, you just want to fit in with the other kids. So clearly you are immature because you're a child. So it's easy to get caught up into all that type of stuff as a child. Now, as you become an adult, you're supposed to be a little more in control of yourself. But we all have found that there's still adults that are heavily influenced by the other adults in their group. They still dress like them. They still do the dances like them. They still eat like them. They still will become bullies with someone or someone else. They will make jokes of people. They will put down people that they wouldn't even talk about by themselves, but they end up being mean and applying pressure to these individuals. See, that's where it becomes more of a problem when you're an adult, because you shouldn't let things control you like that. But let's keep going, and we'll come back to that. Let's say community. Inside the community, there becomes peer pressure as far as where you should live, what your house should look like, what car you should drive, how your family should be. Should your family be a golf family? Should your family be a volleyball family? You start to be influenced by your community. You see a lot of that, how your lawn should be, what lawn care you should use. And you start to see these type of things, what parties you should throw, how you should dress as a family. It starts to influence you on that level. So I've seen peer pressure as far as the community is concerned. If you think about it, you take a thing like religion, right? Religion itself can be its own little social network or group that's similar to each other, because you come together at least twice a week, maybe at church. So you start to see there's little cliques like the choir, this group right here, the prayer group. Just within religion, you see people that's just one same religion start to become peer pressure to the other one. Did you pray enough? Did you do this enough? Did you, give enough money to the church? It starts to become peer pressure in those things. You think in just life itself. You could be working a job, and in that circle right there, those people, what type of, do they get Starbucks every day? Do they drink a certain type of lemon water? Do they get donuts every day? And you find yourself have to buy the donuts all the time when you don't even eat donuts. It gets real crazy with peer pressure. What about diet? You'll eat food that from the people that's similar to you, so you don't even eat all that fried stuff when you're by yourself. You don't even eat all that. You don't eat meat all the time, or you don't drink all the time. That's not something you do. You don't smoke marijuana. You don't do heavy drugs like heroin and meth. You don't do this stuff. But when you get around these certain people, this peer pressure kicks in, and you find yourself doing that. Your kid, you could raise your kid in a more of a proper way. But when they get around other people and you see what they do with their kids, you start to allow your kid to do stupid stuff like they're doing from peer pressure. Like, oh, you should let them go ahead and do that, girl. Oh, you should let your son go ahead and do that, man. And next thing you know, you got your child involved in a lot of nonsense because you're on some, well, I'm just going to, like the rest of the groups, let my kid do it. Let's talk about relationship. You could be getting along, having a great time in your relationship, and you'll let somebody else come visit and bring their mess into your house and tell you how their relationship is. They don't trust their man, or they don't trust their woman, and they'll get to telling you these stories, and the next thing you're looking at your relationship like it's their relationship because y'all in the same similar group. So you believe like, man, maybe I should look at my relationship like that. No. You shouldn't be peer pressured and thinking your man's no good or believing your woman's no good just because that's what they're going through. That doesn't have anything to do with you. Do not be peer pressured into these things. So it's important to watch it as far as the kids' peer pressure, adults, community, family, all these things you have to be very conscious of that. Religion, life, diet, whatever it may be. Don't let peer pressure end up pushing you the wrong way. Now, this is my thing. Why not, if it's going to be any peer pressure, because I know it's not used this way, but why not use it in a good way? Why don't we use peer pressure far as helping us with our children, helping our kids? Put your kids around other kids that you think are well off. That way they can have that peer pressure instead of being bad in class. It might be your kid that's bad, your kid that's not doing the work, your kid doing spitballs, your kid being mean to the substitute teacher. So if you can put your child around other good children, maybe the peer pressure can go the other way and make them do their homework, make them read more books, make them do better stuff by proving that. Let's say adults. If you're an adult and you're having some issues trying to figure your life out, then why don't you put yourself around a better group of people so that way that group can peer pressure you to be a better person, to smoke less, drink less, get away from drugs, get away from a lot of drama. Try that out. If you're in a community that you think is not upstanding, there's a lot of bad stuff happening, why don't you try to get in another community? Try that out. Try to get a job in a different community. Try that out and see if that will rub off on you to change your outlook of life. If your family's a little crazy, okay, but this is when you try to build your own family, your own relationships, date people that's good for you. So when you build your immediate family, it will be different than the family you grew up that you feel is not good for you or is pressuring you to be the wrong type of person. At the end of the day and the beginning of the day, it's up to you how you live your life. So just get excited about your life and continue to grow. And maybe you could add some peer pressure to help somebody else in a better way by you just doing well in life. Well, in any way, just remember to smile every day. Put a smile on your face. And remember, plans may change, but goals stay the same. Like and subscribe to this MoneyWise channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Yep.